If you're nearing retirement or already retired, the truth is that financial hardship could be waiting for you. It's a reality that many older Americans face today as the cost of living keeps rising, and retirement plans don't always deliver as expected. In this video, we're going to dive into why financial insecurity is looming for so many older adults and what you can do about it. As people age, the dream of a carefree retirement can often collide with harsh financial realities. According to the National Council on Aging, 80% of older adults are either already struggling financially or are on the brink of economic insecurity in retirement. This is not just a statistic, it's a wake-up call for anyone approaching retirement age. One major reason for this widespread hardship is simple. The cost of living has far outpaced what most people have saved. A study from the Health and Retirement Study found that nearly 55% of adults over 60 are living below the income level needed to meet basic needs. This figure represents a 6% increase since 2020, showing that financial insecurity is not only widespread but growing. Older Americans are increasingly unable to afford food, housing, and healthcare, making day-to-day life a constant financial juggling act. Now, let's look at the changing face of retirement. What's happening today is a far cry from what previous generations experienced. The traditional pillars of retirement, pensions, savings, and Social Security have all shifted. Many people are entering retirement without a pension, relying heavily on Social Security, and drawing from personal savings that are simply not enough to cover modern expenses. In fact, the value of personal savings for those in the 22% to 80% income bracket has been steadily declining since 2018. While Social Security helps, it's rarely enough to cover everything, especially when unexpected costs arise. Meanwhile, rising costs and financial shocks haven't helped the situation for people over age 60. Financial shocks, such as sudden health crises or the loss of a spouse, can be devastating. Over a 20-year period, about 30% of adults over 50 will experience a financial shock that wipes out almost 80% or more of their net wealth. Among those over 70, two-thirds will experience at least one major financial shock within a 9-year period. This means that most people heading into retirement will face sudden expenses that they simply can't afford. The pandemic was a massive financial shock for many older Americans. Job losses, health complications, and widowhood became all too common. In fact, during the pandemic, 12% of people over 65 lost their jobs, and many who lost a spouse found themselves suddenly facing enormous medical bills or a drop in household income. These financial shocks only added to the long-term pressures of already rising living costs and healthcare expenses. Let's look at one of the silent threats in retirement: long-term care. One of the most significant burdens that awaits many retirees is long-term care. Whether it's needing assistance with daily activities or moving into a nursing home, the costs of long-term care can be staggering. Over half of Americans over 65 will require long-term care at some point, and many will need it for more than 5 years. The price tag. In 2018, a private room in a nursing home cost over $110,000 per year. With costs only increasing, most older Americans simply don't have the savings to cover this level of care. Even if someone manages to save for retirement, they're likely underestimating how much they'll need. A major study revealed that 60 to 65% of retirees won't be able to afford just 2 years of long-term care in their own homes. And with long-term care costs rising every year, many retirees are forced to rely on government programs like Medicaid, which often requires spending down nearly all assets before coverage kicks in. So, here's a deeper dive into why financial hardship awaits. Many older Americans, the National Council on Aging, identified 4 main reasons why so many older Americans face financial hardship. They are: Number 1 is insufficient savings. As mentioned earlier, a large percentage of older adults simply haven't saved enough to weather the storms of retirement. Even modest increases in income are not enough to offset rising costs and declining assets. 2. Rising healthcare costs. Medical expenses and long-term care costs are rising every year. Without proper savings, these costs can quickly drain retirement funds. Number 3. Dependence on Social Security. Too many retirees rely solely on Social Security to cover their expenses. While it's an important safety net, Social Security alone is not enough to maintain a comfortable lifestyle for most retirees. The fourth, financial shocks. Health crises, the loss of a spouse, or sudden financial losses can wipe out years of careful planning. For many retirees, one significant event can lead to financial ruin. So what are the possible solutions? While the financial future might look grim for many retirees, there are some steps you can take now to protect yourself from hardship. Diversify your income streams. Don't rely solely on Social Security. Consider other income streams such as part-time work, annuities, or income-generating hobbies to help fill in the gaps. Consider exploring tax-advantaged investment accounts like Roth IRAs or HSAs, which can provide flexibility in accessing funds without heavy tax burdens. Additionally, rental properties or dividend-paying stocks can offer passive income. If you're interested in real estate, investing in a small rental property could provide steady, long-term financial benefits. Plan for healthcare costs. It's essential to account for healthcare and long-term care costs in your retirement plan. Consider long-term care insurance or Medicare Advantage plans that offer more comprehensive coverage. Research Medicare supplement plans, Medigap, that cover out-of-pocket costs like co-payments and deductibles, which standard Medicare doesn't cover. Additionally, evaluate health savings accounts if you are eligible, as these accounts offer tax-free growth when used for qualified medical expenses, providing a powerful tool to manage healthcare costs. Build an emergency fund. Having a cushion for unexpected expenses can make all the difference. Aim to have enough savings to cover at least 6 months of living expenses. A high-yield savings account or money market account can maximize the growth of your emergency fund, helping you keep pace with inflation. It's also wise to set up automatic transfers from your paycheck or other income sources directly into this fund, ensuring consistent growth without relying on manual contributions. Downsize. If maintaining your current home is too expensive, consider downsizing to a smaller, more affordable place. This can free up home equity and lower your monthly costs. Consider moving to areas with a lower cost of living or states with tax benefits for retirees. Not only can this reduce your overall living expenses, but it can also free up cash from selling your home, which can be reinvested to support other retirement expenses like healthcare or travel. The financial challenges that await many older Americans in retirement are real and growing. The rising costs of healthcare, long-term care, and everyday expenses are making it increasingly difficult for retirees to live comfortably. But by taking proactive steps now, diversifying income, saving more, and planning for financial shocks, you can give yourself a better chance of weathering these challenges. Additionally, the impact of inflation on everyday essentials like groceries, utilities, and healthcare continues to erode the purchasing power of retirees. With the cost of living increasing faster than many retirement plans anticipated, retirees must adjust their budgets and find new strategies to stretch their limited resources further. Meanwhile, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more content that can help you prepare for a more secure and comfortable retirement.